the first woman doing skiing in the whole history. There is no rider on the horse that can push the horse during the race. I started with 2 years old to ski. And if you put horses and skiing together, it's skiing. We have a maximum speed around 60 kilometers per hour. And I tried to go in second and third place, but she was so strong and she decided completely by herself, I go in front and I will win. You can start to buy a horse with around 2,000 Swiss francs. But there is an open end until millions. White turf is history, and it means to me a lot because I grew up with white turf. Like I already told, my father done the skiing as well. I would describe white turf as a really special event in St. Moritz. It held on a frozen lake with around 30 to 40 centimeters of ice and then 20 centimeters of snow, pressed snow. And then you have horse races, gallop races, trotting races, and exclusively skiing race, which is only held in St. Moritz. When I passed the finish line after my first race, it was like, yeah, I done it.
Now I was imagining that he was really your prince on a white horse, right?
Not on a white horse, actually on a grey horse. In January, I start with watching races from my horse. How is he running in a normal flat race during the summer?
Have you ever thought about participating in a race like this?
I would love to do it, and I would love to try it because I think it's a completely different kind of skiing that we do from 12 to 20 years old. And we try to find the next superstar.
Hello and welcome to the Robert Dobai show. The reason I do this podcast is to be around people I admire, hungry individuals who express their vision through their work, business, sport or art. I'm curious about what pushes them to fight the norms, dedicate their lives to a craft and chase excellence. I believe the cage that keeps us from our goals is in our minds. And through this podcast, I take knowledge and inspiration from those who have broken limiting beliefs and are now moving freely. In this episode, my guest is Valeria Schiergen, the Queen of Skijoring. She earned this title after winning the skijoring event at the white turf competition in St. Moritz, Switzerland. 2025 was her fourth year being crowned the Queen of Skijoring, and I think she will still be a great competitor for many years to come. We started our discussion by talking about the sports she did in the childhood, the influence and support from her father, and how she ended up winning her first title. Later in the episode, we talked about the horses she races with, other types of skijoring, and her future plans. We finished our discussion with some personal questions like mental preparation before the race, her favorite foods, and more. The sponsor of today's episode is Onesto Coffee. They promote a sustainable approach to coffee consumption, offering only organic and fair trade products. More than that, their coffee is freshly roasted manually in Switzerland. We filmed this podcast episode at their location right above the roastery, and hopefully you will also feel the aroma of freshly roasted beans while watching. You can buy Onesto Coffee in most shops in Switzerland, at their headquarters in Wädenswil or online. I will leave all the details in the video description. If you want to support this podcast, one of the best things you can do is subscribe to my channel. Another way is to try the Lionscage training programs. I built the Lionscage training programs to help busy people get stronger, move better, and stay pain-free. My goal is to offer a minimalistic and sustainable approach to functional training, and that's why Lionscage 60 and Lionscage 40 combine the most effective exercises I have found for strength, endurance, and mobility during my career as a coach. Each program is built with 3 levels of difficulty, so everyone can progress through the exercises. I trust my product with all my heart, and that's why I offer the Lionscage 40 training program, which only requires a pair of dumbbells completely free. I will leave the link in the description, and now let's get to the show. Valeria Schiergen, welcome to the show, and thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you to invite me.
You are the Queen of Skijoring
Exactly.
and the four-time champion. First of all, congratulations on your performances.
Thank you very much.
I had the opportunity to see you racing live in San Moritz last month in white turf. And I've done a little bit of research on my own. And before diving deeper into this sport and your career, I want to hear in the Queen's words what skijoring is and especially what it means to you.
So skiing is a really traditional sport. It comes from Norway, and they call it Skijoring, and they've done it years before with reindeers. And some St. Moritz young guys, they talked about the race during the towns, and they took some horses and took some skis and done the race on the normal street from one town to the other. And one day some English guy came to St. Moritz, and they told them to do a race on the frozen lake. So he saw the race between the towns, and they took the horses on the lake and made the ski. They call it skijoring, and they made the races on the frozen lake in St. Moritz. And skijoring for me, it's really special and also an honor to be part of this history, because I was 2009. I was the first woman doing skijoring in the whole history. And 2017, I was the first woman to get crowned as a queen or king of the Engadinen of the skijoring.
In which year you was the first woman to be?
To take part, I was 2009, the first woman.
Yes, and then the title?
2017.
2017. So you needed many years to prepare for this.
Exactly. It took me nearly 8 years to get crowned, and but it's not really easy, the races, because you need also a lot of luck that you get a good horse for that, and not every horse you can use for skijoring. So you have to choose one which is good for long distance. So skijoring is 2,700 meters. So he needs a lot of stamina, and the horse has to be minimum 4 years old. And the special thing is in the skijoring, you don't have a jockey on it. So there is no rider on the horse that can push the horse during the race. And in the skijoring, there is no jockey. So he has to do the races by himself. And he really loves to run. And if you have a horse that loves to run, it's an easy thing.
I know you raced with Shell, right?
Exactly, with Shell.
Shell, yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have many questions about your horse, about Shell, about the previous horses. I will ask you a little bit later. And I want to start by going back in time, right to the beginning of your sports career, and see how you ended up doing skijoring. Not only doing it, but becoming the queen of the sport. What was your first sport? So
my first sport was ski racing. So I started with 2 years old to ski. My father had a ski school, so it was nearly clear that I started to skiing. And I think the first ski races I done with 3 or 4 years old. I can't really remember, but then I was a professional ski racer. I was a really bit unlucky because I had some injuries, knees and ankle and back, etc. So I stopped the skiing career with 17. And exactly, and with 7 years, I started to ride for my hobby. I loved horses, and a good friend of mine, the parents had a riding school, so I went there. And during the summer, I worked in the stables, helped with the horses and everything. And if you put horses and skiing together, it's skiing.
Yes, right.
And my father done skiing as well when he was younger. So it was clear that I want to do it as well. I always said when I was a young girl, yeah, Daddy, I want to do this as well. And you have to wait until 18 because you get the license for skiing when you are 18, not earlier. So when I got 18, I made the skiing license, and then with 18 and a half, I done my first race.
And your father had skiing school in St. Moritz, right?
In St. Moritz, yeah.
And you grew up in St. Moritz?
Exactly. I grew up in St. Moritz and went to the ski school nearly every day. It was like a place that I will be or
hang around
every day. Exactly.
Great. You could also help there maybe when you grew up, initiate the kids.
Yes. When I stopped my skiing career, I went back to the ski school and gave the kids some lessons during the winter to earn a little bit money for my studium. So I worked 3 weeks a winter or maybe 4 weeks a winter as a ski teacher as well after the skiing career.
Yeah. Does your father still have the...
No, he stopped it when I was 8 or 9, and then he moved to the St. Moritz Mountains, and he worked there for all the trains for the mountains, for the ski slopes.
You didn't want to continue
as a
the
ski
school?
As a ski teacher.
School. Yeah.
It's a really tough job. And if you're on the skis every day, it's not that easy because of my knee injuries. So I decided to do a studium in marketing and tourism.
But as ski tourism in St. Moritz, how it is?
For a ski tourist?
Ski tourists. Are some good ski schools there, or kids are already going to St. Moritz and they know how to ski?
No, we have a lot of ski schools actually, and for them to learn skiing in St. Moritz is really cool because we have different places where kids can go ski. Also flat places. We say also a kinderland. So they can play with the skis, and also on the mountains we have different slopes. So we have blue, red one, black slopes. So it's a really easy ski arena, I think, for also tourists that are not really used to ski. They also can enjoy it with 1 hour, 2 hour skiing, and then have a nice lunch with a nice view.
From what you know now, how do you think you could prevent your injuries and make your career longer?
Maybe when I was young, we started training directly with a lot of weight. I don't know if that was used to it when I was younger, that the important thing is weight. And now I think I also know my body better than I was young. And I can tell to my body what I have to do, that it's not hurting. And I would train a different kind of way, I think. I don't know if I could prevent it, because skiing is still dangerous. And also in this winter, for exception, we have a lot of knee injuries in the ski racing World Cup. So there is no result that you can prevent it completely. But maybe if you are trained, especially the leg muscles, another kind of way, maybe you can
prevent some
years or yeah.
What
maybe,
was
yeah.
what was your best result as a skier?
So the best result was a 28th place in a FIS race, and I won races during the school time. So we have the school championships where I won a lot of races and smaller races. Yeah.
As I told you in the gym, when it comes to strength training, there are a few basic principles that can take you far, and if applied, will protect you from any setbacks, injuries, and disappointments. What are the basic and most important principles in skiing for efficiency and longevity?
I have to think. I think it's really important.
Maybe one thing that comes to mind first, if you see a beginner, what's the one sentence you could tell him and you help him a lot?
So I think a really important is that you have stability, especially in the lower body. I think this is one of the most important things, that your lower body is stabilized, and also you have to be a complete athlete. So you don't just need your arms or just need your legs. You have to be a complete athlete from the top to the bottom. So this is, I think, really important, that you also train different kind of ways: endurance, stabilization, with weights, and also to
and not only specific on the ski slope.
Exactly. This, I think, is the second part. First of all, your body or your strength has to be on a high level, and then you start to learn ski. I think to minimalize the technique. You have to work on your movements on the skis, and maybe also on the aerodynamic if you doing downhill or super G.
But the base is a fit and strong body.
Yes, exactly. Because when you do a race of 2 minutes, you have to be really strong and fit, that you can hold it on your legs, for example, and that you are not getting tired.
And what about horse riding? What's the maybe the most important thing there when it comes to horse riding?
So horse riding, especially riding like a jockey.
Yeah.
Because normal horse riding, you sit on the horse. But if you ride as a jockey, like we do in our training or with our horses, then you stay on the horse. So you need a lot of stabilization and also a strong lower body and a core.
Yeah.
So and strong arms, because you have to hold the horses when they're a little bit strong or when they want to go faster. So you have to
be able to control
the horse. Exactly.
I see this in many sports. I talked, for example, with football coaches, and they say physical strength is more and more important every year, because the athletes are getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the game improves. Because before, when you used to play football, you mostly played football and didn't do much training in the gym. And I think back in the days, it was the same with skiing and the same with horse riding. Not a lot of exercising in the gym and outside the gym with running, endurance and stuff like this.
I think you also can if you're more strong or physically in a good shape, you can prevent injuries. I think this is also a really important thing that today they do more stuff for the fitness than years before.
Yes. What speed can you reach in a race for skijoring?
For skijoring, we have a maximum speed around 60 kilometers per hour.
60.
60, yeah. And the average speed is around 48, 47 kilometers per hour.
And the 60 is the record?
We never measured the record, but we say that the racehorse, the highest speed at the beginning of a race can be around 60 kilometers.
Around 60.
Yeah, and because we don't have a jockey on it, the horses start really fast during a skijoring race. So we have around 60 kilometers per hour at the beginning.
What is special about Shell, the horse you competed this year with, and why did you pick him?
So Shell is a really special horse because he is already 6 years old. That's maybe a little bit older for a racehorse than we know for other racehorses. And he started his racing career really late, with 4 years. And because he had the injury when he was young, so he had needed a lot of time to get ready to be a racehorse. And I think also especially he has his own mind. He definitely knows what he likes to do, and he loves to race, and sometimes he's really strong and just wants to run, and this makes him that makes him the right choice for a skijoring horse, because you need a horse that loves to run. So that's why we chose him for the skijoring race.
What's your favorite horse from all the ones you've ever competed with, and why?
Ooh, that's not an easy question, because each horse has its own character, and actually I love all of them. But maybe I have to say Uzbekia. Uzbekia was the affiliate that I won my first skijoring race ever in 2017, and yeah, we owned her by ourselves, and she was, the trainer told me not to go in the front in the race, and I tried to go in second and third place, but she was so strong and she decided completely by herself, I go in front and I will win. And that made her so special. And I won with her 3 races in total. And she made me to the Queen 2 times. So it's really special. But also Ulster, the horse that I had last year, he was also really special, because he was from his class. He was really, really good. So he was the best horse I ever had from the handicap that I had in a skijoring race. And I knew that I have the best horse in the field, in the group. And then, I really could play with him. I said to him, we go a little bit slower. When someone came from behind, I told him we go a little bit faster. So it was a really nice and relaxed race for me, because I knew he is really, really good. Yeah.
Ulster, right?
Ulster.
Right. And where is Ulster now?
He got retired from a year, because he was actually already 10 years old, I think. And he done a lot of races, and he was a really, really good racehorse. And the owner decided that he gets retired and he enjoys his life as the owner's place.
And what happens to a horse when he's retired? Just
It depends at what age he gets retired or for what they use him after his career. For example, a filly you can use for breeding. A colt, when he is good enough, you can use him for breeding as well. Or you, like the owner does, she's riding him as at home for herself, and the rest of the time he enjoys his life on the field with friends, and or you sell them for other sports, for example for cross country, or maybe they do some dressage or jumping, or just for hobby riding. Yeah.
how much does does a horse like Ulster cost?
To buy or during the year?
To buy first.
It depends when you buy him. If you buy him as a 1-year-old, it depends on the breeding of a horse. So you can start to buy a horse with around 2,000 Swiss francs. But there is an open end until millions. So I actually don't know what Ulster costs when they buy him. But normally for a skiing horse you pay around 15 to 20,000 Swiss francs.
20,000
Yes.
Swiss
And
francs.
then you have a really good one.
And the more competitions he win, the more valuable he gets, right?
Exactly, yeah. It depends also if he is a filly or a colt or a gelded one.
Okay.
So a gelded one is not usable anymore for breeding, so it's a little bit less worth. But a filly or a colt, if they win a lot of races, they're really valuable after it.
Because they will be used for breeding.
Exactly, yeah.
White turf, the competition that you have won multiple times, has a tradition of more than 100 years, which is extremely rare for a sports competition. Founded in 1907, it celebrated its 118th anniversary this year, right? What does white turf mean to you?
White turf is history, and it means to me a lot because I grew up with white turf. Like I already told, my father done the skiing as well, and white turf is St. Moritz, and St. Moritz is white turf. So you go to St. Moritz and you always see pictures from the frozen lake with the horse races on it. We have also polo, which is really popular on the frozen lake, and these are two events. You can't have a winter without them. They're really necessary because for the tourism and for all the hotelery and the restaurants, etc. We have a huge guests end of January and February, and without these two events, it's not, St. Moritz is not that kind of town anymore. It was like 118 years. And when we think about how they raced 118 years ago, without helmets and and the old pictures, it's just really nice and really important for us.
How would you describe white turf to someone who has never seen it?
I would describe white turf as a really special event in St. Moritz. It held on a frozen lake with around 30 to 40 centimeters of ice and then 20 centimeters of snow, pressed snow. And then you have horse races, gallop races, trotting races, and the exclusively skiing race, which is only held in St. Moritz. There are skiing races in the States, there are skiing races in Austria, but there are always riders on it. And in St. Moritz we have the skiing with horses without riders. And the special thing, you have to use thoroughbreds for the races. So registered thoroughbreds and not a Western horse or a halfling or kind of that. So you need a real racehorse for the race.
So it's mandatory for the white turf?
Yes.
What was the happiest moment you experienced during white turf?
I can't pick just one. I think especially the first race that I done was special because you can't train a race. You can do it in your mind. You can ride your horse, prepare it with a jockey on it and skiing behind. But without a jockey and the speed, you do it the first time in the race. So when I passed the finish line after my first race, it was like, yeah, I done it. And I directly went third. And that was the same place. My father was the best placed third. So I directly equalized it. And this was a really happy moment for me. And I think also for my dad. And then the first race that I won was really special for me, for my family, for my husband, for the trainer, for the whole family. It was really special. Yeah.
And what was the hardest moment you experienced at white turf?
The hardest moment was that when my horse got injured after a race. There was an accident directly after the start. I didn't hurt, but my horse got a ski on his leg, and they cut the tendons. So this is what really. It was really sad. He still lives. He enjoys his retirement on the fields, but he is not a racehorse anymore because it was a stopping. I would say an injury that stopped his career. So this was the hardest moment for me, and also for the entourage around the horse. It was really sad. Yeah.
I'm curious how riders are paid in horse riding. I would love to know about someone like you who competes less often, and also about a jockey who probably has more competition throughout the year.
So a professional jockey gets paid individual. So some of them get paid with percent of the winning money, 6%, 5%, minimum 6%, and then maybe they add on some 2 or 3% that the owner is paying them. Some of them, or most of them, are working in the stable during the week, and on the weekend they are riding races. So they get paid like a normal work rider monthly, and then on the weekend they get the extra paid for the races when they win, when they earn some money. Or you can also take some money for each ride. That depends also on your experience, how many rides you already won. You can start from 100 Swiss francs up to 5,000 Swiss francs if you are one of the best jockey on the world, for example. And as a skiing racer, we earn nothing because it's an honor to take part at the skiing races. It's a really long tradition. At the moment, we are only 7 drivers. So we don't earn any money. We get actually 100 Swiss francs each Sunday, but Normally we leave them on the lake because we drink a lot after the races and celebrate together. So the money is here to celebrate and not to earn it. Yeah.
How often do you ride horses in the off season?
I try actually to ride every weekend. It's not really easy that I have the time to ride every weekend because of my work. And but my father-in-law, he has a big stable in Germany, and we try to go there really often. And it's a hobby for me, and I really love riding. I don't just see it as a sport and as a competition, and it's also for me for the spare time. I just love it.
And your husband is also a horse rider, right?
Exactly. He was a jockey for I think around 15 years, and from 3 years ago he stopped riding as a competition. He still rides in training and also during the spare time, but as a competition he stopped 3 years ago.
I wanted to ask how you met him, but now I was imagining that he was really your prince on a white horse, right?
Not on a white horse, he actually on a grey horse, no. No, I met him during white turf. He had a horse from his father in St. Moritz, and under the week they go riding out, etc. And I had the horse just next to him, to his horse, and so we went out riding during the week, and so we met us. Yeah.
When do you start preparing for white turf, and what does your training look like?
So I do sport all around the year, but in my mind I say I always start beginning of September, that I especially train for the skiing. I start slowly with the repetitions, and then I do from 2 days a week sport to 3 days a week sport, and push it until February then.
And do you have specific training before the race with the horse on the frozen lake? And
so the horse which is doing the skiing with me normally decides in December, around December, which horse we take for the skiing. And then we start beginning of January to show him the reins and the towel, because this is something not normal for a horse. And then my father-in-law, he's really good in this. He shows it to the horse, and then we say he drives the horse around the stables from far behind, beginning with someone who leads the horse. And then when the horse get used to the towel and used to the long reins, then we leave the groom. The groom is leaving, and then he walks around the stables just with steering from behind in walking. And then maybe we start trotting, but galloping with the towel, it's the first time in St. Moritz when is actually a rider on it, because without the rider we can't train. It's not possible. So the first time without the rider is in the race. And but I try to ride my horse during the training, so I get to know him. Shell is not possible to ride because he is really strong, and I can't manage him when I'm riding. Yeah, so my husband is riding him, or his groom, and I clean him.
Really? I didn't think that.
Yeah, no, he is really strong, and I couldn't manage him during riding. So maybe the next summer when he's getting maybe a little bit older or a little bit
older,
chilly,
yeah.
I tried.
How do you mentally prepare for a skijoring race? For example, pre-race routine, focus technique, dealing with the pressure.
So in January, I start with watching races from my horse. How is he running in a normal flat race during the summer? Is he going from the front? Is he going from the back? So like that tactic a little bit. And then I try to rethink it in the mind. I think how I would do the race with him. At this time, I don't know the other participants, so I just think about it. How is he managed? How can I manage him in the race? Would I like to go in the front or maybe a little bit from the back? And what is the training a trainer told me to do? And when I know the other participants, I think about where are they going in the race. So I look on the videos from their races, and then I know how fast they are starting, if they are fast in the beginning, fast at the end, and with that I try to rebuild the race in my mind and to drive the race in the mind. Yeah.
Can you describe what goes through your mind during a race?
During a race, not a lot. I just watch on my horse what he doing, and you have to really watch or focus also on the others. You have to look, where are they going? Are they passing you? Or if they are behind you, have to check what are they doing. And during the race, I'm not actually thinking of something special. Maybe on what position I am, what is my next step to do. Maybe also when something was not correct or I had a bad start, for example. What are the next steps to do that I am not going too fast with my horse at the beginning, or that I'm not going too far behind, something like this.
So mostly pacing.
Yeah.
How to stay in the race. Have you ever had a moment in a race where you had to make a split-second decision that changed everything?
Yeah, there was one moment with the horse Uzbekia that I already told. There was at the start a horse without the driver because the driver fell during the start procedure. And then the horse pushed my horse on the outside. So I couldn't manage my horse, not the same like without this horse that was disturbing me. And then I had two options: to let her run and overrun the other horse, or to pull her back and go behind the other horse to go again on the inside on the good line. And I made the wrong decision. I tried to overpass the horse. I let her go. It didn't work because the other horse came with me. And then I done the decision to take her back or to stop her a little bit too late. And the other horse crossed my horse. So I had to do a really full stop and then to start the race from nearly trotting. And then my horse was completely out of the route, the speed, etc. And then I was actually 5th placed like this. But I was happy that nothing happened. My horse was safe and no injuries. That was the most important thing, yeah.
What is the most dangerous aspect of skijoring that people might not realize?
Maybe the dangerous thing is the whole start procedure, because we are maximum 12 horses in one line and we all start the same time. And when a horse jumping out of the starting stalls a little bit left or right, they can crash together. There nothing happened, especially when a horse crashed into the other, but he can jump on our skis. He don't see the skis because he's focused to run. And when he stays on sits on our skis, we will fall. And this, I think, is the most dangerous moment for us. I had also this year at the second Sunday a moment that I thought, ooh, the horse is really close to me, really, really close, and I just prepared myself that he will stay on my skis and I will fall. But actually, it didn't happen. So my horse was enough fast to pull me out of this situation. During the race, normally nothing should happen because there are the drivers and they have to manage the horse that the horse don't run into you. And then that they don't stay on your ski, and normally you pass on the left side and not on the right side, because normally we try to close to the rails so no one can pass you on the inside, and so during the race should nothing happen.
Have you ever had a serious fall or injury during skiing?
Luckily, no. I didn't have any injuries until now, and I hope it stays like this. I had 3 falls, but nothing happened. Yeah.
What sacrifices have you made for this sport?
What do you mean with sacrifice?
What did you choose to give up for this sport, for you to continue to be the champ over and over again? What did you choose to not do, maybe, instead?
Actually nothing, because the whole family stays behind my decision that I do the skiing. My husband is from the sports as well, from the horse sports, so he knows what it needs to do it. Also from the time of fitness, to ride out, to know the horse, and that it's really nice that you don't have to give up for
something.
the sport, something. Just live your life.
You have all the support from your family.
Exactly.
From your father, from your husband.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I hope you will keep the title Queen of Skijoring as much as you want.
I hope so.
How long do you plan to compete?
How long I enjoy it, and I have fun to do it. And I always said when I get scared of it, then I have to stop it, because then it's dangerous that you get injured, or that you injure someone else because you are not 100% safe in what you're doing. But at the moment, I just love it and I will keep doing it.
When did your father stop?
He stopped, I think, when I was 5 or 6 years old, around this age.
And why?
Because he gets really old. No,
Okay.
He stops because he done it already many years.
Okay.
And he had also back problems. So it was just the right moment, I think, to stop because of the age, because of the back problems. And then he did it a lot of times. So I think this was a decision, yeah.
What is the best piece of advice you have ever received from a coach or mentor?
There's one guy, he called Franco Moro. He won the skiing races, I don't know how many times, but he drive over 25 years.
Franco Moro.
Yeah, Franco Moro he called. And he was the king of skiing many, many times. So he gives me still a lot of tips. And he retired 2 years ago. And when he tell me something, I always try to think about it. How can I implement it in my race, in my kind of racing? A really special tip that changed my race, I think he never gave, but we always say small points will do a lot of the whole thing. So yeah, and he's how you say kind of mentor as well.
I've seen that this sport you also mentioned that is practiced in USA, but they do it a little differently. They have a rider, right?
Yeah.
You are already smiling. While the skier holds onto a rope.
Yes.
Doing jumps and collecting rings.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about participating in a race like this?
I would love to do it, and I would love to try it, because I think it's a completely different kind of skiing that we do. You have the races they do it by themselves alone. They're not competing against others in one group, and it's on time. And you have to collect. There are different kind of races, but you have to collect rings, or you have to take some gates.
Yes.
You need to do jumps, and in front of you have the Western horses. Uh-huh. So I think it's not the same speed than our races. And as a driver, you are focused on the jumps, on the rings, etc., not on the horse. Mm-hmm. So I think it's completely different. But it looks like a lot of fun. So I would love to do it.
Yes. When I did some research about skiing, I've watched some YouTube videos. And as you said, it looked so much fun.
Yeah.
And I've seen riders going with the hands through the rings. And then really focusing on skiing more than driving the horse, actually. It is the speed lower than you in your races or higher?
I don't know. I think at the one moment it's maybe a little bit faster, but on the complete race, on the race time, I think we are faster, because we have also race horses, so they're from their natural, they are faster. But I think it's also the combination. We are alone without the rider, so we feel the speed directly on our skis. And the other skiing drivers, they're focused on jumping, so that it's a completely different kind of speed to feel, I think.
I hope you will get to try.
I hope so.
You have to go to USA for this, probably, right?
Yeah, to USA, or maybe someone here in Europe does it and we don't know it. So they can invite me.
Yes, I hope they will invite you, definitely. I want to ask you, how has sports in general, not only skiing, helped you become the person you are today?
I think sport is really important to do in different kind of ways. If you do competition, if you just do it for your fitness, or also to learn how a team is working. If you do a team sport, for example, that you are not alone, that there are others as well. And when I grew up, I done a lot of sports. I played tennis, I played golf, I done some swimming competitions, and I think all the different sports made me that person that I am today. And I'm not focused only on one thing. Also in the job, that you are really open to different things.
Yeah. What I noticed first on you. After we have talked, that you are very brave. Also, I've seen you in the gym, and I said, wow, this woman is really brave, and congratulations. Not many people, and not to say about women, are so brave as you are. And what can I say? Only congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the toughest sports-related milestone for you to achieve?
I think that I reached my goal to win a skiing race and to get the Queen of Skijoring was a really high
Personal goal
for me, and especially that I done it not just once because of maybe luck, but that I can repeat it. And maybe I make me every year a lot of pressure on me that I like to do it again and again and again. But with my training and my mental training as well, I tell me, I'm doing the right thing because I want it again. So I'm on the right way. And if someone else thinks I'm too, thinking too much about the races or the technical thing, don't think about the others, just look on yourself. Maybe, but I reached my goals this kind of way, so I will keep it. Yeah.
Who are the people who inspired you the most or are inspiring you now? You mentioned about your mentor already. Is there anyone else, maybe a friend?
I think to do skiing actually is my father, because he done it as well. We say in German, the apple is not falling far from the tree.
Yes.
So he inspired me to do skiing actually. And one person who is inspiring me at the moment as a ski racer is Lindsay Vonn, because she was a really successful ski racer. Then she stopped skiing, and now she done her comeback last December, really successful. And no one trusted that she will come back like she did. And as well me, I thought, if this is a good decision, let's see. And I'm impressed of her that she done this decision to do the comeback with a lot of negative points from the press, from trainers, from other ski racers. And she's doing her way. She loves skiing, and that's why she really impressed me.
I know she had a really bad accident, right?
A lot of bad accidents, yeah.
A lot. I was following her on social media at one point. I'm not sure if I'm following her now, but I don't know much about skiing, but I was following her, so imagine. Can you share a moment when your father's advice or actions truly shaped a turning point in your career or personal life? For example, what your father told you once or what he's telling you often that really matters for you?
Maybe don't give up. So he never told me that, but in his life or in his sport career, he always pushed and try to do his best. And I think this is something that I have
Inherited.
inherited and got from him, that I just keep fighting and don't give up. And if it didn't work, I tried another time, or I like to do it better the next time. We get frustrated if it won't work, but maybe we are also a little bit loud in this moment. And he's telling me, "Yeah, don't shout around." But actually he is shouting around as well, so we are the same. And but you can improve from everything and every moment.
Do you have brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have a younger brother, and he's three years older, but much taller than me, around 2 meters. And he was a bob pilot when he was young. And he had to stop because of an injury as well. And now he's working as a multimedia electronic. Yeah.
You also mentioned about your work. I see also that you are wearing a t-shirt from your work. Can you tell me more about your work?
So I'm working for the ski company Head since 10 years now. I'm working in the marketing team. And I'm responsible with 3 other persons for the racing team in Switzerland, for the future athletes. We go on ski slopes and watching their racing when they were from 12 to 20 years old. And we try to find the next superstar.
Really?
And we support them with sponsoring. And I really love to do it, because when you see them growing and to get really successful, it's the best statement to your work that you're doing the right job. So I really love it.
Yeah, I noticed that from the first time we have talked, and you mentioned about Head, and I think it's a really cool job to do, to spot the next superstar, like you said. Great. Can you give me one example?
The best example at the moment is Franjo von Almen.
Okay.
He got a world champion in downhill 2 weeks ago. So
congratulations.
He's one of my first athletes that reached the top of the top.
The top of the top.
And he's really young. He's actually 23 years old. So he has a lot of years to get better and better, much better, more better. And that he reached this kind of goal, or this level in that early moment of his career. It's really impressive as well. And we found him is not the right word. He came with 12 years old into our team, and to see him grow to this point, it's really special, and made us really proud as well. The whole team is really proud on him, and
How does a company like Head supports his athletes? What's the company providing for them?
So when they came to us and they get a contract with us, we call it a sponsorship with connected with the success. So if you're really successful during a year, or I have to explain it another way, you pay an amount at the beginning of the season, and if you're successful, you get this amount back. So this is our sponsorship, that you after a year, when you were really successful, you have the equipment, the boots, skis, helmet, goggles, free of charge. And additionally to that, we have a service man. He is the whole winter on the slopes, helping the kids doing their skis to make fast skis. That's really important. He is at the championships, at the elite championships, at the junior championships, and helps them to make really fast skis. And we have one guy, he's doing the ski boots so that they're fits 100%. And yeah.
That's great. Also giving them salaries or no?
Not in this age, no. They get a salary when they move to the head international company in Austria. Then they depends on their success in which kind of position they are. They will get a salary, but not in this age and not in Switzerland.
Okay, so have departments in many countries.
Exactly, we have head international. That's the headquarter. They're based in Kennelbach in Austria, and then nearly each country has their own unit. And each country has also, we call it the Young Rebels team. And each country has this kind of Young Rebels team and it's like a grassroots program. It helps to push young athletes to bring them to the higher level.
And maybe be there first if a next superstar is born.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very smart to do. What is one thing under 500 euros that helps you the most in your everyday life or training? It can be anything. It can be a software, an app, a watch.
To help in the training.
In training or your everyday life?
I try to drink every morning an English shot. I do them also by myself.
Okay.
I got the fruit press to my birthday, and I really love it. And I should use it more often, but I don't have a lot of time
to clean it after.
Yeah, to clean it after. It's really mess. But yeah, this is something maybe also don't know a lot of people that I love English shots or do them by myself. And what I really need or what's necessary after the sport is magnesium.
Okay.
So I take always after the sport magnesium because without it's not, I can't walk anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you get this from? Did you figure out during the years or someone told you, recommended you?
Both, because I had always muscle pain after the training, and someone, I don't know who told me that, but someone told me that I should take more magnesium, and since I take it, it's
It helps.
It helps, and it's much better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to 14-year-old Valeria Schiergen if you could go back in time?
Maybe to train a little bit different than the trainer told me when I was 14, and to do more sport during the summer, because I was a little bit lazy. So I think when I done more fitness and done more focus on the legs, on my knees, I'm maybe in another situation now, but just maybe.
That's good point. What is your favorite book?
I never read. No, my favorite book. When I was young, I wrote a lot of horse books.
Okay.
So it's called there is a series of books, I think there are 30 books, called Blitz, the Black Colt.
Really?
And my father wrote it before, and he gave me all those books. So Blitz called, yeah. And then I wrote them, and I still have those books. So maybe my children will get them
To read, yeah.
to read them. But at the moment, I don't read a lot. It's more Netflix that I watch Netflix, but not a special series or a special film. I just.
But do you have a favorite movie?
Yeah, it's it's not how you say. It's a kids movie.
Okay.
It's Ratatouille.
Okay.
Because it's a special history behind. I was in Russia for 4 months to study Russian, and then I bought the film Ratatouille in Russian, and I saw it that many times until I understood everything. Now
Really?
I just love the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. Do you have kids?
No, not yet.
Not yet. But do you want?
Maybe in a couple of years. I don't know yet.
What's your favorite meal? What do you like to eat
I
the
love
most?
sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah, I really love. I could eat sushi all day.
All day.
Yeah, that's.
What do you usually eat before the race? Sushi?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
No, I before the skiing race I can't eat because I'm really nervous. I eat normal breakfast, an orange juice or yogurt or a muesli, but directly before the race I eat nothing. And after the race, normally a bratwurst because it has to be something fast, and there is a lot on the lake going on, and this is something what I can grab and just go.
Go.
Yeah.
In case people want to connect with you after this podcast, where can they find you?
The best thing I think is Instagram. They can find me on Instagram. I have a lot of pictures on it, or also videos from the skiing, and if they want to watch it, you find me also on YouTube. The White Turf has a channel, and there you find all the races on the videos.
Valeria, thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you.
If you have made it this far, you probably enjoyed my discussion with Valeria Schiergen, and I want you to know that I'm grateful for your time. I'm doing my best to provide as much value as possible for my listeners, and if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to stay connected by subscribing to my Hungry Friday newsletter. We are only getting better and better, and so are you together with us. If you are a busy person who enjoys lifting weights, working out with your body weight, occasionally going out for a run or a walk in nature, and you are also limited on time, I suggest trying the Lionscage training programs. I will leave all the links in the description, and until next time, stay hungry.